Hi everyone, I'm Bubbles from Susan's family. Today I'm bringing you a new design, the Autumn Field Drawstring bag. This bag is made up of flowers. The bottom, the body, assembly, and the strap. Among them, the bottom is a pre-made piece. First, crochet all the flowers and set them aside for later use. Then crochet the body and the opening along the bottom of the bag. Finally, assemble everything and attach the strap. Let's start with the flowers. They include sunflowers, cotton, pinecones, berries, and daisies. Among them, the berries and daisies are pre-made. No need to make them. Set aside the rest after making them separately for now. Let's start with making the sunflower. It includes the flower core, check 2, the bobble stitch, petals, the calyx and leaves. Most of this pattern is presented in chart form. Next, I'll first teach you how to read the chart. In the chart, R plus number is used to indicate the round number, H plus number indicates the row number. The increases and decreases explanation column shows the stitch techniques needed for crocheting the current round, as well as the increases and decreases. The total stitches column shows the total number of stitches after completing all the stitches in the current round. Let's start learning how to crochet the flower core. Begin with an adjustable magic ring. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. Once completed, work bobble stitches on top, then move on to crocheting the petals. Next, crochet the calyx and leaves. The stitch techniques used include slip stitches and chain stitches. Now, let's show. Start with a magic ring. The chart starts with an adjustable magic ring, which indicates the starting method is the magic ring. First, make an adjustable magic ring. The cast on is now complete. Next, work the first round. The number in front tells you how many single crochets to make. This means working into the magic ring loop, crochet 6 single crochets. First, chain 1 to start, which serves as the turning chain for the single crochet. The beginning chain isn't marked in the chart, but in reality, when crocheting in rounds, you need to make a beginning chain at the start of each round. The beginning chain doesn't count as one stitch. Then pick up the stitch loop and crochet 6 single crochets. After that, close the magic ring. Pull it tight as much as possible. This way, the loop is securely tightened. Next, insert the hook into the first single crochet stitch of this round, and finish with a slip stitch. If you're not sure where the first stitch is, you can count the stitches from back to front. It's this big braid. The joining slip stitch does not count as a stitch. Need to pull tight to avoid adding extra stitches later. The slip stitch is not indicated in the chart, but in reality, when crocheting in rounds, you always finish by joining with a slip stitch and pull it tight. This completes the first round. We'll take the clearer texture side as the right side. Now move on to crochet the second round. The number in front tells you how many single crochets to work. You need to crochet that many single crochets in each stitch. Here it means to crochet 6 single crochet increases in a row. Start with a chain 1 to begin. Let me emphasize again. When crocheting in rounds, you always start by making a beginning chain. There won't be repeated explanations afterward. Work 1 single crochet increase into the first single crochet stitch of the previous round. Crochet 1 single crochet increase. That is, at the insertion point of the slip stitch. Crochet 2 single crochets. As you crochet, keep the starting tail above the hook. Weave in the ends as you go along. 1 stitch. 2 stitches. Single crochet increase completed. Continue working 1 single crochet increase on the left stitch. In this round, you'll work a total of 6 single crochet increases. The remaining 4 stitches all need to be crocheted using the method of making 2 stitches in 1 stitch. After completing the last single crochet increase, you can check the stitch count. The total number of stitches for each round is clearly listed in the corresponding chart. From now on, I won't explain it again. Next, join with a slip stitch in the first stitch. Pay attention. After completing each round, always join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. Pull tight. You can cut off the extra yarn tail from the starting chain directly. The second round is now complete. Continue to crochet the third round, X, V, times 6. The parentheses here indicate a group. Indicates the number of times to repeat the pattern. First, work 1 single crochet. Then work 1 single crochet increase. Let me demonstrate again. First, work 1 single crochet. Then work 1 single crochet increase. This is the second time. This round needs to be repeated 6 times in total. For the remaining 4 repeats, follow the pattern of 1 single crochet and 1 single crochet increase each time. Finally, join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. Pull tight. Round 3 is now completed. Take a look. The right side of the fabric has a clear texture. The wrong side has a blurry texture. Keep the right side facing you throughout the crocheting process. For round 4 and round 5, simply follow the pattern chart. I've already finished mine here. Now let's work on round 6. Each stitch has 2 strands of yarn in it. The strand that's closer to you is called the front loop. The strand farther from you is called the back loop. For this round, we'll work into the back loops only. Just follow the stitch pattern in the chart for this part. This completes round 6. The remaining rounds for the flower core have already been demonstrated in detail earlier. The increases and decreases explanation here means the same as before. Just follow the stitch order in the chart and crochet accordingly. Remember, the final round is worked even with single crochets. It means 1 stitch to 1 stitch. The total number of stitches remains the same as the previous round. Don't forget the turning chain and slip stitch when crocheting. Now, following the method we learned earlier, refer to the chart and finish the remaining rounds of the flower core. I've already completed mine. Finally, crochet 1 chain stitch to secure. Leave a 10 cm yarn tail, and cut the yarn. That's all for the flower core. Next, we'll crochet the bobble stitch. Take the yarn. Find the remaining half stitch on the 5th round. We'll start joining the yarn at the first stitch. Insert the hook into. Draw the yarn through directly. Joining is completed. The parentheses in the chart indicate crocheting in the same position. Crochet 1 slip stitch in the adjacent position on the left side directly. Don't tighten. Then crochet 3 chains. One slip stitch. This slip stitch is worked in the same position where the previous slip stitch was made. Complete the stitch techniques inside the parentheses. Then skip 1 stitch on the left side without crocheting. This completes 1 group of stitches. Next, crochet 2 slip stitches in the following stitch. Connect them with 3 chain stitches in between. Then skip 1 stitch on the left side. This completes the second group of stitches. Continue following this demonstration to complete this round. The last skipped stitch is the joining position. Once this round is complete, pick up the joining position and crochet a slip stitch to connect. This completes the first round. Now let's crochet the second round. Work 1 chain stitch as a transition. Then pick up the remaining half loop from the 6th round to crochet. First, pick up the first stitch and work 2 slip stitches. Connect them with 3 chain stitches in between. Skip one stitch on the left side. This group of stitches is complete. The following part will be crocheted the same way as this demonstration. Once the second round is complete, crochet a slip stitch to connect at the first stitch position. This completes the second round. Now let's crochet the third round. First, work one chain stitch as a transition. Then follow the same demonstration as the second round. Refer to the chart. Finish crocheting this round. Finish crocheting this. Finally join with a slip stitch. This completes the third round. For the fourth round, just follow the pattern chart to crochet. Once completed, fasten off and weave in the ends. That's all for the bobble stitch technique. Now let's crochet the petals. Find the half stitch left from the 9th round. Insert the hook into the first stitch position. Join the yarn. On the left side, work 2 slip stitches in a row. Don't pull too tight. Then crochet 8 chain stitches. Next, starting from the second to last stitch, pick up one loop from the top of each chain, and crochet 7 single crochets in sequence. Once completed, skip one stitch underneath. Starting from the adjacent stitch, crochet 5 slip stitches in sequence. Then crochet 8 chain stitches. Starting from the second to last stitch, crochet 7 single crochets in sequence. Skip 1 stitch underneath. We'll treat these 5 slip stitches to the skipped stitch now as a group of stitches. The following steps will be repeating this group of stitches. Follow the pattern chart. Keep crocheting until you're almost at the end position. Once completed, work 2 slip stitches on the left side. Finally, join with a slip stitch at the yarn joining position. This slip stitch doesn't need to be pulled tight, to make it easier to slip stitch at the end of the next round. This completes the first round of the first layer petal. We'll consider this as the stem. Now let's crochet the second round. At the left side, insert into the last single crochet's entry position of the stem. Work 1 single crochet. Meaning crochet using the remaining 2 strands of the chain stitch. Note that wire needs to be added here. Take the wire and reserve 1.5 centimeters at the beginning. After completing the single crochet, bend the reserved wire. And wrap it together and crochet. Continue picking up the remaining 2 strands on the left side. Work 1/2 double crochet. Three double crochets. One half double crochet. One single crochet. This secures the starting wire in place. Then pick the tip on the left side, and work 1 single crochet. Mindful not to insert into the stitch of the single crochet on the left side. When done, make 1 chain stitch. Then pick the front loop of the single crochet, and 1 strand on the left side. Work 1 slip stitch. Then rotate the piece. Pick the stitches of the single crochet and work 1 single crochet. One half double crochet. Three double crochets. 1/2 double crochet, 1 single crochet, we will consider from the first single crochet to the last single crochet as one petal. Then skip 2 slip stitches on the left side. Work 1 slip stitch on the third slip stitch. When completed, work 1 petal on the left stem. Tidy up the petal to make the piece flat. When done, work 1 slip stitch in the middle stitch of these 5 slip stitches. Work 1 slip stitch. Next, work 1 petal on each stem. Connect the petals by working 1 slip stitch between them. When the last petal is almost completed, reserve 1.5 centimeters of wire and then cut it off. Bend it a little, bend it a little, wrap them together and crochet. When working the last single crochet, insert from this bent part. This way the wire position is also secured. Work 1 slip stitch at the slip stitch join position of the previous round. Finish with 1 chain stitch to secure. Cut the yarn and weave in the ends. So the first layer of petals is completed. Next, start working on the second layer of petals. This is crocheted by picking up the stitch from round 10. The crochet hook starts joining the yarn from the last stitch of round 10. Then work 10 chain stitches. Work 9 single crochets starting from the second to last stitch. Skip 1 stitch underneath and work 5 slip stitches. The following steps are based on the previous crocheting method. Refer to the pattern chart. After completing the last 4 slip stitches, pick the joining position and work a slip stitch to connect. This completes the first round. Next, crochet the second round. The method is similar to the first layer of petals, except the number of double crochets is different. Everyone complete this round according to the pattern chart. Finally, pick the first single crochet stitch, and join with a slip stitch. The second round is complete. Cut the yarn and weave in the ends. This completes the crochet method for the second layer of petals. Next, we will learn how to make the calyx. The stitches have been demonstrated before. Everyone follow the chart and crochet all the way down to the second to last round. I have already finished that part in advance. Now let's work on the final round. This round is worked by picking up the front loops only. No beginning chain is needed. First, pick the front loop of the first stitch and make a slip stitch. Then work 1 chain. Skip 1 stitch. Work 2 double crochets in the next stitch. One chain 3 picket. First work 3 chains. Then pick the front loop of the double crochet, and the one strand on the left side. Make 1 slip stitch. Then pick the insertion point of the double crochet, and work 2 more double crochets. This group of stitches is now complete. Everyone follow this method. Refer to the chart and finish this round. After completing the last double crochet, join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. Leave a 50 cm yarn tail for sewing. That's all for the calyx. Set it aside for now. Next, let's work on the leaf. Start with a chain cast on. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise along the foundation chain. The new stitch techniques used are the treble crochet and the treble crochet 2-in-1 increase. Please watch the demonstration. Take the yarn. Start with a chain stitch. Next, work the first round. Make 1 beginning chain. Start from the second to last stitch, pick up 1 strand on the top of the chain, then work 1 single crochet. One half double crochet. One treble crochet. The working method is yarn over the hook twice. Insert into the adjacent position, then yarn over and pull through. This leaves 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over, then draw through the first 2 loops sequentially. Repeat 3 times. This way 1 treble crochet is completed. Continue on the left side, work 10 treble crochets in sequence. When completed, work 2 double crochets. Two half double crochets. One single crochet. Then work 3 single crochets in the last chain. Turn the piece. Pick up the other 2 strands of the chain and work 1 single crochet. Pay attention not to insert the hook in the same position of these 3 stitches. 2 half double crochets. Next, work the same stitch pattern on this side. Continue all the way until 1 stitch remains. When completed, work 2 single crochets in the last stitch. Join with the first stitch using a slip stitch. This completes the first round. Next, start the second round. Make 1 beginning chain. Everyone first work according to the pattern chart until before the treble crochet increase. Note that this round needs to be crocheted around a wire. Start by leaving a 5 cm wire. When completed, next stitch is a treble crochet increase. The crocheting method is to work 2 treble crochets in the same position. This completes the treble crochet increase. After that, Follow the pattern chart to work the corresponding stitches. This completes the second round. Next, leave a 50 cm yarn tail and fasten off. Leave 5 cm of wire and cut it off. This completes the leaf. Next, crochet the cotton ball. Take a look at the finished product. It consists of a shell and a cotton ball. First, complete the cotton ball. Then use the magic ring method to start. Crochet the shell in rounds. After completing, proceed with assembly. The new stitch technique used is the treble crochet decrease. Now, let's show. First, create the inner cotton ball, which is shaping this white round ball, into a 5-petal cotton ball using glue. After applying the glue, press it tightly like this for a moment to make it more secure. Like this, the inner cotton ball is done. Next, repeat this process. Refer to the pattern instructions. Make the remaining cotton balls by yourself. After completing all the cotton balls, next, crochet the outer shell. I'll continue demonstrating with cotton yarn. Color scheme is random. First, wrap the yarn around your finger to make a magic ring. Work 5 single crochets in the first round. Tighten the loop. Join with a slip stitch in the first single crochet. Pull tight. The first round is now complete. Next, crochet the second round. Make 1 chain stitch to begin. Work 1 single crochet in each stitch. Crochet while tightening the beginning yarn tail. Finish this round. Working even single crochets will make the fabric naturally curl. Adjust the fabric so the right side faces out. Join with a slip stitch in the first single crochet. Pull tight. The beginning yarn tail can be cut off directly. The second round is now complete. For rounds 3 and 4, follow the pattern chart in order. Crochet single crochets or single crochet increases. Refer to the earlier demonstration to finish them off. I'll use this swatch to demonstrate how to crochet round 5. Make 3 chain stitches to begin. Work 1 treble crochet decrease. Wrap the yarn over the hook twice. Insert the hook into the next stitch. Yarn over, draw the yarn through. There are 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over one after another. Draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat twice. 1, 2. There are now 2 loops left on your hook. This is an incomplete treble crochet. Continue to pick up the left stitch, and crochet the second stitch. Wrap the yarn over the hook twice. Insert the hook. Yarn over and draw through. Yarn over one after another. Draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat twice. There are now 3 loops left on your hook, which means 2 incomplete treble crochets. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. This treble crochet decrease is completed. Continue with 3 chain stitches. Work 1 slip stitch in the second chain from the hook. Continue to pick up the left chain stitch, and work 1 slip stitch. Connect with 4 chains. Work 1 slip stitch in the stitch underneath. Then work 1 slip stitch in the adjacent stitch on the left. Treat these stitches as a pattern set. Repeat this pattern set going down. I'll demonstrate once again. Pick up the left stitch and work 1 slip stitch. 3 chain stitches as a bridge. Then work 1 treble crochet decrease. First pick up these 2 stitches. Work 1 incomplete treble crochet in each. Now there are 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. This treble crochet decrease is completed. Continue with 3 chain stitches from the second chain from the end. Correspondingly work 2 slip stitches. Four chain stitches as a bridge. Work 1 slip stitch into the stitch underneath. Pick up the adjacent stitch on the left and work 1 slip stitch. Another pattern group is completed. Continue down using this method. Finish this round. Complete the last petal. Join with a slip stitch in the first stitch. Pull tight. Secure with 1 chain stitch. Cut the yarn leaving a tail of about 30 centimeters. Pull out and tighten. The 5th round is done. This cotton cover is completed. Once the cover is done, next is to assemble the cotton. Thread the reserved yarn tail of the cover into the sewing needle. Turn the cover with the right side facing you. Insert the sewing needle from front to back into the group of stitches on the left side. Treble crochet 2 stitches together at the right side insertion point. Gently tighten. Take out the cotton ball. Draw through from the center. Then pick up the pointed tip of this group of stitches. These 2 strands of yarn. Pull the yarn through. Adjust the cotton ball so that the junction of any 2 white balls matches up with this group of stitches. Then draw the yarn through the insertion point of this single crochet. Pull tight. Next, insert the yarn into this single crochet stitch. Then go under the adjacent group on the left side. Draw through the insertion point of this single crochet. Then insert into the stitch above. Using the same method, secure this corner as well. Pull tight. Next, everyone follow the same method. Secure all the remaining pointed corners. This is the 55th step. After completion, draw the yarn tail through the center of the foundation chain of the outer shell. The shell and the cotton ball are now assembled. The pinacone consists of the main part and the scales. First, crochet the main part, then crochet the scales onto the main part. The main part is started using the magic ring method. Crochet around the foundation chain. Stuff before the last 2 rounds. The stitch patterns used are all marked in the chart, so we won't explain them one by one here. Now, let's show. First, make an adjustable magic ring. Wrap the yarn tail around your left pinky once. Thread it through between the middle finger and index finger. Then pinch the yarn tail with your thumb and middle finger. Grab the hook with your right hand. Place it underneath the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. A loop forms on the hook. Left hand thumb and middle finger. Pinch the crossing point of the loop. The loop should be big. Position the hook to the left side of your yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Continue pinching the loop. Keep the size the same. The magic ring is complete. Next, work the first round. Start with a chain stitch as the turning chain for the single crochet. This chain stitch does not count as a stitch. Then, work the single crochets around the ring. Insert the hook into the magic ring. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. There are 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again. Draw through all the loops on the hook. 1 single crochet is completed. You'll see a V shape made by 2 strands of yarn. At the top right of the single crochet, that's the stitch of a single crochet. Continue working single crochets. Insert the hook into the magic ring. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over again, draw through the 2 loops on the hook. The second single crochet is completed. You need to work 6 single crochets in total for the first round. Continue crocheting the remaining single crochets. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. After that, close the magic ring. Pull the yarn tail. Tighten the center of the piece. Next, join with a slip stitch in the first single crochet, which means to crochet into the second loop from the yarn tail on the left side. 1, 2. It's this big braid. If you really can't tell, you can also count back from the last stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still the same stitch? Insert. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Pull through all loops on the hook in one go. Slip stitch complete. This is the braid formed by the slip stitch. It does not count as a stitch. Need to tighten, to avoid adding extra stitches later. Round 1 is done. Move on to round 2. Make 1 beginning chain to start. Take a look at the fabric. The stitch looks like 2 threads. The one closer to you is the front loop. The one away from you is the back loop. Insert the hook into the back loop of the first stitch in the previous round. Make a single crochet increase, which means hook 2 single crochets into one thread like this. Place the starting yarn tail on top of the hook. Weave in the ends as you go along. 1 stitch. 2 stitches. The single crochet increase is completed. Continue by inserting the hook into the back loop of the left stitch, and make a single crochet increase. Don't forget to weave in the yarn tail. The second single crochet increase is completed. The crochet pattern for this round is to work into the back loops of the stitches from the previous round, and make single crochet increases accordingly. Next, complete the remaining single crochet increases. After finishing the last single crochet increase, check the stitch count. Count back from the last stitch. 2, 3, 11, 12. There are 12 stitches in total for this round. The total number of stitches for each round is clearly marked in the corresponding table. I won't mention it again from now on. Next, join with a slip stitch in the first stitch. Take a look. There are 2 small braids between the first stitch and the last stitch of the yarn tail. They are the slip stitch from the previous round and the beginning chain of this round. Skip these 2 stitches. Work into the first stitch. Insert the hook into the stitch. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Pull through all loops on the hook in one go. Slip stitch completed. Pull tight. Cut off the excess yarn tail from the beginning chain directly. You can see the texture on the right side is clearer, while the wrong side is more blurred. When crocheting, keep the right side facing you. The second round is now completed. Continue to crochet the third round. Make one beginning chain to start. I'll emphasize again, you need to make a beginning chain at the start of each round. I won't repeat this explanation later. This round is also worked into the back loop of the stitches. First, make one single crochet. Then make one SC2 in 1. Once completed, pick up the back loop of the next stitches. Work one single crochet and one SC2 in 1. Now let's look at the crochet pattern for this round. One single crochet, one SC2 in 1. Repeat this sequence. This method is called skip 1, increase 1. Next, follow this crochet pattern. Complete this round. Join with the first stitch using a slip stitch, meaning the first big braid at the opening on the left side. Pull tight. The third round is completed. Now we'll crochet the fourth round. This round continues to work into the back loop only. Start with one SC2 in 1. Then work 2 even single crochets. Next, make another SC2 in 1. And 2 single crochets. Now let's look at the pattern for this round. Repeat one SC2 in 1 and 2 even stitches. This technique is called increasing 1 stitch every 2. Next, follow this pattern. Complete the entire round. Once finished, join with a slip stitch in the first stitch. Pull tight. The fourth round is completed. Continue to crochet the fifth round. This round, pick up the back loop of the stitches. Work one single crochet in each stitch without increasing or decreasing. Complete this round. Once completed, join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. Pull tight. The fifth round is done. Let's take a look. A raised texture on the right side represents one round. So far we've crocheted 5 rounds. We'll start decreasing on the 6th round. First, pick up the back loop of the stitch and work 6 single crochets. Then make one single crochet decrease. Insert the hook into the back loop of the stitch on the left. Draw the yarn through. There are now 2 loops on your hook. This is an incomplete single crochet. Now make another incomplete single crochet in the back loop of the next stitch on the left. Insert the hook into the stitch. Draw the yarn through. Now there are 3 loops on your hook, which means you have 2 incomplete single crochets. Yarn over and draw through all 3 loops at once. 1 single crochet decrease is completed. Continue with 6 single crochets. Then make 1 single crochet decrease. Work into the back loop only to make incomplete single crochets. Two. Yarn over and draw through all 3 loops. Another single crochet decrease is completed. Then crochet 6 more single crochets. And 1 single crochet decrease. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Pull tight. Round 6 is completed. For round 7, pick up the back loop of the stitches. Work 1 single crochet in each stitch. Complete this round. Round 7 is completed. Continue to round 8. This round needs to be picked up and crocheted. First, make 2 single crochets evenly. Pay attention. All these are worked into the 2 strands of the picked up stitches. Don't make a mistake. Then work 1 single crochet decrease. Followed by 5 single crochets and 1 single crochet decrease. The crochet pattern for this round is decrease 1 every 5 stitches. Next, follow this pattern. Complete this round. After finishing this single crochet decrease, work 3 more single crochets. Which makes exactly 5 single crochets with the starting 2 stitches. Slip stitch into the first stitch. Pull tight. Round 8 is completed. For round 9, work into the back loop only of each stitch. Crochet single crochets evenly without increasing or decreasing. Finish this round. Round 9 is completed. Let's take a look at the fabric piece. Since round 8 was worked into the picked up stitches, there are 2 rounds of raised texture between these 2 horizontal lines. Need to count 2 rounds. Don't miss any rounds. The remaining part of the main body is simple to crochet. The stitch techniques used have been demonstrated in detail before. The total number of stitches for each round, the number of increased stitches, and the increase pattern are all referenced in the chart. Pay attention, even rounds are worked into the back loop only. Odd rounds are worked into the front loop only. When counting rounds, there are 2 rounds between each line segment. Don't miss any rounds. Follow the chart, and refer to the earlier demonstration to continue crocheting. Stuffing is also needed during the crocheting process. Do this when you have 2 rounds left. I'll use this small swatch to demonstrate the stuffing method. Fluff up the stuffing and then stuff it in. You can use scissors to help. Shangxi card, yeah. Once it's roughly firm and full, gently pinch the curve of the fabric. Pay attention not to stuff too tightly. A slightly looser feel gives a better effect. That's the method for stuffing. Picking up stitches on the last round of the main part. First, make 1 single crochet decrease. Then make 1 single crochet. Continue down following the pattern of skipping 1 and decreasing 1. Work through the entire round. Join with a slip stitch when done. Pull tight. Leave the yarn tail for now. No finishing needed. The last round is now complete. Everyone take a look. This is what the finished pinacone body looks like. Next, we'll crochet the pinacone scales. Take a look at the finished piece. Follow the remaining half stitches along the pinacone body. Crochet in rounds on the wrong side. The new stitch technique used is the double crochet increase. Now, let's show. First, we'll work the first round. Continue crocheting from the ending position of the main part. Turn the work counterclockwise. Work into the last stitch of the last round on the main part. Work 1 slip stitch. Weave the yarn tail into this position. Make 1 beginning chain to start. Work 1 double crochet into this stitch. Yarn over. Insert the hook into the stitch. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. There are now 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, thread it through the first 2 loops. There are now 2 loops left on the hook. Yarn over again, thread it through these 2 loops. 1 double crochet is complete. The braid on the upper right is the stitch of this double crochet. Continue with 1 chain stitch. Work 1 slip stitch in the same stitch. These 2 slip stitches, 2 chain stitches and 1 double crochet form 1 small petal. This round is separated by 1 stitch. Crochet a small petal like this. Let me demonstrate again. Skip the next stitch on the left. Work 1 slip stitch in the second stitch. Chain 1. Then work 1 double crochet in this stitch. Yarn over. Insert the hook into the stitch. Yarn over, draw the yarn through. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, draw the yarn through the first 2 loops on the hook sequentially. Repeat twice. 1, 2. Another double crochet is done. Continue with 1 chain stitch. Work 1 slip stitch in the same stitch. The second small petal is now complete. Follow this method. Skip 1 stitch. Work another small petal. When completed, work 1 slip stitch at the insertion position of the first small petal. Work 1 slip stitch. Then secure the yarn tail. Enlarge the loop. Pass the fabric through the loop. Gently tighten. The yarn tail is now settled. The first round is complete. Now crochet the second round. Let's take a look. There are small line segments formed by leftover half stitches on the main part. These segments form circular rows. There's a column of slip stitch marks here. Position the tip of the piece towards yourself. Locate the first round of small line segments underneath. Attach yarn to the small segment on the left side of the slip stitch mark. Insert the hook into this segment. Draw the yarn tail through. Adjust the loop size. Pay attention. Don't pull the carried yarn too tight here, to prevent the fabric from shrinking. Next, work 1 chain for transition. Make 1 double crochet in this position. Then work 1 chain for transition. Work 1 slip stitch in the same position. This small petal is now completed. Continue by skipping 1 segment. Make another small petal on the second segment to the left. Move down and skip 1 segment. Crochet a small petal. Finish this round. Complete the last small petal. Work 1 slip stitch at the insertion point of the first small petal. Secure the yarn tail. The second round is now completed. Move down to crochet the third round. First, go to the next small segment in the next round. Join the yarn on the segment to the left of the slip stitch mark. Work 2 chains as a transition. Work 1 double crochet at this position. Work 2 chains as a transition. Work 1 slip stitch in the same position. Treat these stitches as one medium petal. Let me demonstrate again. Skip one segment. Work 1 slip stitch on the second segment to the left. Work 2 chains as a transition. Work 1 double crochet. Work 2 chains. Work 1 slip stitch in the same position. Another medium petal is completed. Skip one segment downward. Work 1 medium petal. Complete this round. The last medium petal is worked on the last segment. After completing, join with a slip stitch on the first segment. Secure the yarn tails. Round 3 is done. The crocheting method for round 4 is the same as round 3. Skip one segment and work 1 medium petal. Please refer to the earlier demonstration to complete them. Start working large petals on round 5. I'll demonstrate using this small sample. On this round of segments, join the yarn on the segment to the left of the slip stitch mark. Work 2 chain stitches as a transition. Work 1 double crochet increase in this position, which means working 2 double crochets in this stitch. One stitch. 2 stitches. This double crochet increase is completed. Continue with 2 chain stitches. Work 1 slip stitch in the same position. This large petal is completed. I'll demonstrate again. Skip one segment. Pick up the second segment on the left and work 1 slip stitch. 2 chain stitches as a transition. Work 1 double crochet increase in this position. Chain 2 more stitches. Work 1 slip stitch in the same position. Another large petal is completed. Skip one segment and work 1 large petal. Finish this round. The last petal of this round goes on the last segment. Then slip stitch to the first segment to join. Secure the yarn tail. The 5th round is completed. The remaining petals below will all be worked in the corresponding positions. Attach yarn to the segment on the left side of the slip stitch mark. Skip one segment and work one petal. Round 6 and round 7 are for working large petals. The remaining 3 rounds are for working medium petals. The chart only demonstrates the method for crocheting petals. Follow the number of small segments in each corresponding round for the quantity. Please refer to the earlier demonstration. Work all of them until completed. After finishing the last round of petals, leave a yarn tail of about 5 centimeters and fasten off. Hide the yarn tail inside the pinacone. Look. This is what the pinacone looks like after all petals are completed. With that, the flower making is finished. Now let's learn how to crochet the bag body. Crochet in rounds along the bottom of the finished bag. Now, let's show. For easier watching, I'm using cotton yarn for demonstration. For specific yarn, color scheme and hook size, please refer to the product detail page and paper instructions. First, take out the finished bag bottom. Here I'm demonstrating with a swatch, not for exact reference. Now let's crochet the first round. Leave a yarn tail and make a slip knot. Pull the loop through any small hole on the finished bag bottom. Then adjust the size of the loop. Please note that the side of the finished bag bottom with the metal feet faces us. Then make one beginning chain. Work 3 single crochets into this small hole. When crocheting, remember to keep the yarn tail above the hook and weave it in together. Slightly pull up the loop on each single crochet before working the next stitch. After finishing, continue to the next part on the finished bag bottom. Into the next 3 adjacent chain spaces. Work 2 single crochets into each space. After finishing, you'll have stitches on these 4 small holes that we've worked into. Count them as one group. Repeat this pattern for one group. Complete this round. The beginning yarn tail has already been woven in for a distance. You can cut it directly. After finishing, slip stitch into the first stitch. Pull tight. This completes the first round. Now let's work on the second round. Make one beginning chain. Gently tighten. Work one single crochet into the slip stitch below. One chain stitch. This chain corresponds to the stitch on the left side. Skip this stitch and continue by working one single crochet. One chain stitch. Let's take a look. This round is made by alternating single crochets and chain stitches. Pay attention while crocheting. Skip the stitch corresponding to the chain stitch. Continue downward following this pattern. Complete this round. Once the last chain stitch is done, since the rest of the bag will be crocheted in spirals, no need to slip stitch. This completes round 2. Now let's crochet round 3. First, chain 1. This is the first stitch of round 3. Mark this chain stitch properly. If you have stitch markers, use a stitch marker to mark. If not, use a safety pin or a paperclip to mark. Then work a single crochet in the first empty space of round 1. Which corresponds to the stitch right underneath the chain stitch from round 2. When crocheting, slightly pull up the loop. Then complete this stitch. Next, chain 1. Then work into the adjacent empty space from round 1. Work a single crochet. One chain stitch. Let's take a look. The pattern for this round is also alternating single crochets and chains. Only this round single crochets are worked into the empty stitches from round 1. When making single crochets, slightly pull up the loop. Continue alternating single crochets and chain stitches downward, all the way to finish this round. After completing the last single crochet, also do not join with a slip stitch. This won't be mentioned again later. This completes round 3. Now move on to round 4. Work a single crochet into the stitch below the chain, which is the stitch from round 2. Crochet a single crochet. Move the marker. Then work one chain stitch. Take a look. This round follows the same pattern as round 3. Complete this round following the previous demonstration. Once the last chain is finished, round 4 is complete. Next, everyone refer to the chart and complete the remaining rounds of the bag body. Note, on the last round, make 1 chain stitch to begin, then continue crocheting single crochets and chains. Mark the first stitch. After finishing, join with a slip stitch. Then leave a yarn tail, cut the yarn, and weave in the ends. That concludes the explanation for the bag body.